When I was really young, there was one time I had like 6 boyfriends, but they kind of all knew.
Wait, what? How does 6 people know about each other?
Well, 2 of them were twins. And, you know, I was
I don't want to get too personal, but I was ask, did they all were they all hitting around the same time too?
Nah, because some of them I wasn't smashing, but they just, I was
Welcome to I Game Around, the podcast that is still searching for a tagline. When I have guests, I like to tell them my old tagline used to be, I was about to say, if niggas hating on you, then you're doing something wrong. That's not it. It was, so niggas didn't like that name so they can eat a dick. But that was very aggressive, so
That was the name of the...
No, that was a tagline. You know, like some podcasts, they say, welcome to blah, 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 blah. My blah, blah, blah used to be, you know, you can eat a dick. But it was too aggressive, so I decided to tone it down a little bit, but I'm still searching on what it is. Anyway, that's not why we're here. So today I am joined by CEO in Rome.
Yes.
Yay.
Welcome to my show. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. You two also have your own podcast. If you want to shout it out, I'm not going to do it.
It's called CEO in Rome.
Yep.
Oh,
and our handles are CEO in Rome for everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. XIOANDROME. Again, XIOANDROME.
E-I-E-I-O. Every time sorry. When you say your name, that's what I think of. Anyway, as you can see, today we are playing Jenga. Last time I played Jenga was about 30 episodes ago with my ex-co-host who decided to choose love over our podcast. But that's a whole nother story that we don't need to go into.
Or do we?
No, fuck him.
We going into it on our podcast. Put it in the notes.
So anyway, one of you girls, go ahead. Please feel free to go first, and the other one explain how you two met.
Okay.
All right. I'll go first because she's good at explaining.
All right. So we actually met when she was 14 and I was 15 in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we go far, 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 far back.
Do y'all remember where you met?
We actually...
I don't remember the day.
Yeah, I don't remember the day or the
time,
but literally I moved from one apartment into a new apartment in the same complex, and she so happened to move into the apartment that I was moving out of.
Oh, okay.
So we crossed paths that way, and she's from New York. We exchanged stories about how I'm from New York.
Please feel free to go.
It was...
what part of New York?
The Bronx.
And you?
I'm originally from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay.
New York.
I
fucked up
there.
My bad. We went to the same high school.
Right.
As well as also we lived in the same building basically.
Yeah.
Wait, so you didn't actually move out of the apartments? You just moved out of that particular apartment?
That particular apartment, right?
Why'd you move out?
I don't know. My mom made the rules. It was her say so.
Well, no, because it's weird to have somebody else move in.
I think the apartment that we were moving into was bigger.
Oh,
so,
okay. I thought you were downsizing.
No. We had 8 kids in my family, so we had to upgrade.
Yeah. So when I first moved down here, I was very anti people.
Really? Why's that?
Because I didn't want to move here.
Oh.
And I
How
made
old were you when you
connection.
moved?
I was 14.
Oh, so you moved straight into her apartments from New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was ASAP.
Oh.
I was going on, I was 14 going on 40. So, I knew what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do with my life.
Right.
And
At
I knew
14,
I didn't want to live in
At
Florida. So I went a really long time being really antisocial and stuff, but I felt like she was my kind of people. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's that.
It's your go, Rome.
So most people have high school friends, and then after high school, you gotta go to college and you forget all about your high school buddies. How did you two remain friends after high school?
College.
People do that?
I still have my high school friends. So
I didn't go to college.
Yeah, I didn't go to college.
We actually did lose touch for a while.
Oh, okay.
We actually did lose touch for a while. I went to the same high school. We went to the same high school while I was there for 2 years. So my freshman and sophomore year, and then I moved back up north.
And then I also had an issue during my freshman year where I lasted only here 8 months the first time I lived here.
Really?
She was a savage.
Yeah, and then I was like, gotta go. And I moved back, and then when I moved back from
I was still up north.
New York, she was gone. So I was like, where's my friend? You know, I moved back like a year and a half later. And at that point, she was then in New York. So we kind of missed each other.
Wait, so one of you moved back to New York first, then you came back, and then the other person moved to New York.
Yep.
Why were y'all going back to New York?
Because Florida's not where it's at.
Me,
personally.
I had a family issue.
Okay.
And if I didn't leave,
Can you talk about it?
if I can, potentially.
Oh,
okay.
I mean,
So-and-so and so-and-so. No. A very close family member.
I can bleep out the names. Just going to say it.
A very close family member of mine was being intimate with someone that I was involved with.
Were you being
and-
intimate with them as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So a family member. All right, hold on. Sorry.
So her and a family member were both being intimate with one specific person at the same time, and they didn't know about each other until
No,
right.
I think my family member knew, but
Were y'all
didn't
living
care.
together? You and a family member?
Yes.
Oh, so the dude or the female? Sorry, I don't want to judge.
The
Was just.
dude.
I think she's trying to lose on purpose to change the subject.
Yeah, I don't
No.
know. I see a
The
toxic
dude
here.
knew
Yeah,
what
you're-
was going on. I'm fingering the fucking Jenga. The dude knew what he was doing. And basically, me and this person already had some built up tension. And when I found out that she was smashing dude, I lost it, basically. And it was decided that it made best sense for me to go away.
Why couldn't she leave? Or he? I don't know what's going on.
The reason why she couldn't leave was because she had a life
You just
here.
took my turn. You can go ahead and go again.
I took your turn.
Yeah.
I thought it was me, her, and you.
Damn, I was trying to trick y'all. All right, you paid attention. Never mind. Go for it. All right, keep talking.
So long story short, she had a life here that, required her to do more. I was just a high school kid, so it was easier
For her
for
to
me to just go live with my dad up there. And, yeah.
Okay, so why'd you decide to move back?
Because my dad didn't understand that I was already past a certain level of maturity.
Okay.
So
How old were you?
I was maybe 15 at the time. I was already fucking. I was already
fucking.
I was
What a
fucking.
commitment.
I've sold drugs. No, I've had sex. I've sold drugs. I've worked jobs. I've had
And savage.
Oh,
like
yeah, you
I've
were-
had my own like
You were in the mix.
shit popping. You know what I'm saying? And I moved back with my dad, and he's like, "Let's go to church. You can't wear that, and if you want to hang out with certain people, I need to meet their parents first." And I'm like,
What is this?
"Nah, I don't do that." No, I don't do that. And then just as the time, it wasn't a good match. He wanted me to be his little girl, but I wasn't a little girl anymore.
Oh, okay.
And it just got difficult. It got very difficult. Love him though. He was trying to do the dad thing. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to you, Pops.
So when you did move back, did you run into the family member again? And was like, I'm back, bitch. What's good now?
Yeah.
There's a good
People-
relationship there
People
now.
are going to be who they are.
That's true.
And he was just a hoe. You know what I'm saying? You can't let these hoes.
Wait, your family member was a dude
No,
fucking
I'm
another
saying
dude?
the guy
Oh,
that
okay.
They were
slept
both
with me, my family
smashing.
member. He was a hoe, and you can't let hoes,
Hoes
stop
gonna be hoes, so
the
I couldn't
flow.
blame
You can't let
Tammy.
hoes stop the flow.
Hoes gonna be hoes.
Hoes gonna be hoes.
Damn, y'all are really good at this game. I was not expecting this.
Jenga.
Okay, that's an interesting story.
Why did you move to New York?
That's the next question right there.
I moved to New York because I was not digging Florida. Like everything, I missed home. And then my grandma got sick, so my mom found it as an easier route to just go back.
So she left too?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
I like you
know,
doing my job. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Let me stop.
it just seemed she's a real journalist.
I see.
It just
Okay, so
seemed,
she do it too. Okay.
I really like learning this.
I didn't care that much, but
it's so funny because the listeners are gonna be like, "Are they really friends?" Because she don't know what the fuck's going on.
It doesn't matter.
all right. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead and continue.
So my grandma got sick. It just seemed like the easiest transition to help her and everyone that was back up north. I was actually in a relationship with someone prior to leaving.
Did he cheat on you too? She cheat on?
Eventually.
I don't know. I'm not judging.
Eventually.
Okay.
Eventually, yeah, that stuff happens. If you guys are interested in knowing how that happens, you can go ahead and check out Zia Rome, Love Breaks Legs.
Love breaks legs.
The title alone should speak volumes.
Did you break his legs?
Not his.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I was actually in a relationship with someone. He ended up moving up north with us. And when things started to get, like, we were grown, we were like, you know what? We've been living together. It's cheaper rent in Florida. We already know how things are out there. Let's just move back and have our own spot. And that's what we did. And that's what caused me to move back.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, I hooked them up. I want
Yeah.
to take full credit.
How so?
She wants to take full credit for the cheating and the breaking of
Oh,
the
you
legs.
hooked them up and you set them up together.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he was a really close
No,
friend
he's
of
an
mine.
actually good guy.
He's a great guy.
We were young and dumb. You know, it happens.
So it's cool to cheat when you're young and dumb.
He was
No,
my
but
boy.
it's more excusable.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Gotcha.
You know, here's the thing. When you're young and you get in relationships, you sometimes skip over a lot of freedom that you didn't get
So my go.
to.
It's your turn.
It's your turn. You sometimes don't give yourself a chance to kind of explore different things. And I think
okay,
it's
gotcha.
human nature to kind of sample
And wonder.
what's out there. It's like the food court. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do I get orange chicken or bourbon chicken? It's like, I'll get bourbon chicken today.
like the
Right.
food
And
and the
court.
next time I
sometimes-
get orange chicken.
And then sometimes you go back for another sample, even though you're going to get another meal
you're like,
somewhere
damn, that
else.
bourbon chicken was good as fuck. You know what
You
I'm
know?
saying?
So what about you two? You're saying that men was cheating on y'all. What about y'all? Y'all ain't never did no dirt?
Oh,
Do you want to go or I want to go?
I mean, you know what? I've never really been a big cheater, but I've been the other woman.
Isn't that? Oh, okay. Well, you're probably
Like, I've
single.
never been the
Okay.
one in a relationship with like a side piece. Like, that was never.
She's been the side piece.
That's
Oh,
never
okay.
been my jam. I have, like, when I was really young, there was one time I had like 6 boyfriends, but they kind of all knew.
Wait, what? How does
Yeah.
6 people know about each other?
Well, 2 of them were twins. And, you know, I was
I don't
want to
get too personal, but I
I
gotta
was a
ask.
little-
Did they all were they all hitting around the same time too?
Nah, because some of them I wasn't smashing, but they just, I was that's what I was. I was like, Jenga.
I swear, it seems like when we start to get personal with you, you like, oh, let me lose real quick.
Shit.
All right, subject change. Anyway,
Is that the rule?
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't
Oh,
know,
okay.
but we're
I
gonna
like
take a
that
break
rule.
because I gotta get the little sleep thing. We'll be right back, and we are back, and we didn't even have to take a break because she put that together super quick.
Teamwork.
I didn't do anything. All right, so now it's on you to go first, and let's switch your dirts and go on to her dirt. So, were you ever the side chick?
I was a side chick unknowingly once. I didn't know that I was a side chick, but I was definitely the side chick given on the amount of years that they were with the person.
Oh, versus with you?
Right, besides me.
So how does that work with like Valentine's Day and Christmas and Thanksgiving? Like, it's like, oh, I'm busy.
Actually, I don't know because I was only with this person for a year before I found out.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
there was no like experiencing of like all of these special holidays.
Okay.
What
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Using 2 hands.
No, I didn't.
She's such a cheater
I did it.
watcher.
It's for balance, bro.
But I've never been a cheater.
Okay.
Like I'm really, really, really big on not doing to others what I wouldn't want done to me.
But if they do it anyway, then.
Well, I'm not okay with it.
Oh, okay,
So.
gotcha.
Wait for them to do it first.
I'm not that girl. Even though I've stated that I need to have a whole year. We've said this numerous amounts of times.
A
Year
whole
of the
year.
hoe.
Yeah, because I've never been that girl, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to like grow old and then say I've never been that girl because of fear of being judged a certain type of way. But we all have hoe phases, right?
Who's gonna judge you though? Who's gonna know that you're a hoe?
Exactly.
Word. I like the way you think.
I
I
appreciate
said
it. Thank you. Sometimes it's the deliverer, not the message.
The hoe is all about who knows your business.
Word up.
That's what I'm saying. So anyway, let's move past you guys and your wholeness.
Got
Okay.
it.
I'm not a hoe no more. Just need to make it very clear.
You sure?
She's married.
I'm married, dog. I just
But
got
you could
married
be a
in
hoe
December.
for your.
Oh, you can be a hoe.
You can invite new partners in, and y'all can, watch porn. Like, I don't know how in the marriage you go, but you can do all that whole
I'm
shit
still
in
on
the
level
marriage.
one.
Oh, okay. It was only December, so okay. All right.
Still on level one.
Y'all was still in the honeymoon phase. Gotcha.
Ready Player One.
All right. So talk to me about the podcast. How did the podcast come about?
Well, we're both pretty funny,
Y'all all right?
and sometimes we get together and just laugh at shit, and it's like, yo, this is so hilarious. You just feel the need to share it. It's like stupidly funny, and it got to a point where it was like, you know what? We need to have a podcast. So I got really, really sick over the summer, and I was in a coma for like 5 days. I woke up and found out that
Can't just skip over, like nobody just, pops up into a coma. Like, what happened?
I had sepsis, which basically is when you have an infection that taps into your bloodstream and starts to shut down your organs.
Oh, shit.
So I had lung failure, renal failure, and
All types of
kidney
failures.
failure. I was dying.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I
dying.
didn't understand that part from all the failures, but okay.
Yeah. I was dying, and they put me in the coma, and I was in the coma for like 5 days. I woke up, and once I got like a little, like maybe on my 3rd day, I had to pay some bills that were due while I was in the coma or coming due.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh shit, Capital One them raised the bitch's credit limit while she was in the coma. I was like, yo, we need to do this podcast shit, I was like, because I could have died.
And we had been discussing it for a while. I'm like, yo, we should probably get on this. Let's do this. And we kept saying ways that we can go about doing it, but we never actually like put it into work.
Oh,
and I
okay.
think that her kind of falling into the coma and experiencing this near-death experience kind of like literally and figuratively woke her up to a lot of things. And she was like, you know what, let's stop talking about it, let's just do it.
So I came
Life's
out the
too short.
hospital August 1st. We recorded our first episode the last week of August.
Correct.
Oh, okay, cool. So you guys are on episode number what?
30.
Okay.
It'll be 31.
And
this
what's your
Sunday.
favorite episode? What's like, if my viewers wanted to check you out, what's one that you would recommend them watching?
You go first.
My favorite is Scary Zika Sex.
That's nasty. But I'm sorry, go ahead, continue.
Well, it's a few different elements of the show that are put together.
Okay.
So we talk
it.
about scary stuff, sex, and then we talk about the Zika baby that I encountered. Well, it wasn't a Zika baby.
Wait,
thought that it was.
I wanted to know if it was a Zika
Oh,
baby because
okay,
it had a
gotcha.
funny head. So then we just add different elements and put like a Mod Podge title.
Okay, so if you had to describe your podcast, how would you describe it? What's it about?
I would say it's unformatted. It's basically girl chat, kind of like, yo, how was your week? And then, yo, listen to this crazy shit. And then we both kind of give our 2 cents, and we hide our notes and our topics from one another so we can have really that organic reaction from one another. And it's witty, it's funny. Sometimes it could be educational,
Damn,
right?
I'm
Emotional.
about to
And
tear up. I remember
sometimes
when I had a partner on
inappropriate.
this thing too.
Yeah.
Not by
it's great.
myself. I don't have to hide my notes from anybody. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would actually say also that it's kind of like if you were to be a fly on the wall in a room with 2 girls that have been friends
Damn.
You don't got a break. I got this.
Oh
family.
my
I'll
God.
talk.
that
about to
have
say
been
the
friends forever and
Yes.
kind of just hear what girls talk about behind closed doors and what their real thoughts are about certain things that you would probably never be privy to.
Oh, okay.
That would probably be the feel of it.
One of the things I really enjoy about what we do is that I feel a lot of podcasters hide behind their caricatures or their name and they talk about everyone else. And we talk about our lives too.
Okay.
Personal
And
stories.
so you really feel like, damn, like I'm really
know these
like
people?
I know them, but they're sharing very intimate details about their life, and something about that is like it's like a guilty pleasure of like really knowing about people's bullshit. You know what I mean? And just knowing you're not the only one that's dealing with shit. You know, I think that's what people really appreciate.
So why share your personal stories?
I personally have been in the motivational arts for several years. I've done writing, motivational speaking, and things along that line. And the whole basis of my brand has been sharing real life stories so that people can know and understand that things are possible for them. You know, if that relatability is not there, then they're never going to believe that it's possible for them to transition into whatever it is that they desire. So I've always just been committed about that. And then I've always felt a sense of freedom that if I'm telling my truth, I don't leave it for anybody else to tell.
I personally feel like I can be a little bit introverted at times. I'm really good at faking the funk. The perception of me from others is that I come off as this social butterfly and I don't really give any fucks.
Right.
But it's all faking the funk. And I think that to me, the podcast is a form of exposure to the point where I can actually get to that point of not having to fake it. And it's almost like therapy in a sense too sometimes.
I'm telling you where to put it.
Oh.
It's almost like...
Oh, you're supposed to put it down here.
That's where I just took it from.
Oh, you just took it?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sorry.
That was smooth, son.
Yeah. Are you cheating? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. I feel like it's even a form of therapy in a sense where you kind of put yourself in this vulnerable state where other people can hear your flaws and almost relate to them.
So what do you think one of your biggest flaws is that people will relate to the most?
I have a hard time being vulnerable. I have a really hard time being vulnerable. I feel like I have to be this pillar of strength at all times. I have to always have my shit together, know exactly what I'm talking about, exactly what I'm doing, and that's definitely not the case. And it's okay that it's not the case. I think that people need to be okay with not having to be strong all the time.
Okay, so you've been working on that since the podcast?
Correct.
Okay, so how's it been going?
It's actually really well. I must say that being vulnerable has definitely made me see things about myself that I'm just like, okay, I can be vulnerable and this is what I need to work on. And it allows that cover to be taken off of things so that you know what it is that you need to move forward with.
Oh, coolio.
Me?
That's a good
That's
answer.
me?
What? No, it's on her, but
okay.
for you, what's the biggest flaw that most people can relate to with you?
I have none.
Oh, you're perfect.
She's a beast.
Nah, I don't view myself as a flawed individual. I will say like my biggest struggle is, two of my biggest struggles. One has been weight. I don't really talk about it a lot on the show, but I know what the fuck's going on here. Okay?
You know what's going on.
And I would say that working on controlling my anger has been something that I've struggled with, but I feel that at this stage of my life, I'm growing more patient. Mm-hmm. So I've always been like, yo, I'm ready to fuck anybody up anytime. And they can still get it. Like, believe that.
Oh, you can leave here and fight somebody in the elevator?
Anytime. But I'm learning how to pick my battles and be a little more mature about things. And being mature is very hard.
Is
it?
It
is.
It
can be.
How so?
I just want to do what instinctively feels correct, and I feel that part of being mature sometimes causes you to suppress your instincts. And I just...
Where do you think that instinct came from to begin with, though?
For me?
Right. Because I don't mean to be racist, and I'm going to cut you off because it's my show. But
no, it's cool.
It's just like, I feel like some white people, they're not instinctually angry. They don't instinctually... When somebody's getting loud with them, they just, kind of chill back. Whereas some black people or some Spanish people, they kind of, all right, nigga, you want some? All right, what's up there? What's up there? It kind of builds. But some people don't have that instinct. So what is your instinct to?
I feel the first part, I genuinely believe that part of it is genetics, for one. And then secondly, I just feel that being a minority in general, we constantly have to protect ourselves for people not to take what's ours. We've worked so hard to get what we have that we'll be damned if we'll let anybody step in and try to make us feel like we're less than, try to disrespect us, try to take from us. So I feel for me, my mother has always raised me, never let anyone disrespect you, never let anybody, you know, do this. Like, you have this rule book of never allow.
Right.
And
Yourself to be taken advantage of.
yeah, and it's like the moment that you open the door and let people step on you, they will continue to do that. So I feel that we learn at a very young age not to allow it, and then after a while it just starts to become very primitive.
Right.
You know, it's concrete jungle, eat or be eaten type deal.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, and life experiences just go on to support those things that we're being taught.
Just gonna put that back. I don't need that one. Okay, so
I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not an expert or anything.
Oh, it sounds like it. I mean, you kind of folded your hands and everything, like you were ready. I hope this nigga asked me that question because I got his ass on that one.
Well, since you asked.
Okay, so what do you see you guys' podcast doing in the future?
Well, we're already the best podcast of 2018.
Okay.
Undisputed.
Oh, okay.
Undisputed. The door's been open if you would like to dispute it. We both
BET
come in.
Awards.
Change my
They're coming for y'all this year, right?
I mean, I just think we're on another level. Like, if BET doesn't give us the award, we're okay with that.
Yeah.
No, honestly, here's the thing. I have a very strong belief in the value of our content, and the talent level. And if we're not necessarily where we should be yet, if we're not at our best now, that's okay, because with practice and with time, it's going to come. So I really see us being, in terms of comedy and in terms of podcasts of color, I could easily see us in the top 10%. And I'm in no rush to be there. You know, when it's meant to be, it'll happen. But the quality's there. We care so much about what we do that it's just a matter of time before we pop. So I'm pretty confident of that.
Okay, cool. So, Sia, what do you think y'all need to work on to become the #1 podcast in 2018? What's something y'all can work on to
What's
improve
something that we can work on?
Yes, ma'am.
I think probably putting our face out there more. I think that maybe networking more would probably be the thing that skyrockets us to the next level for sure.
Okay, gotcha. And you?
I was
Rome.
just
I didn't forget her name.
I was just going to say the same thing. I think once we integrate video and start to cross promote on different platforms, that's going to help us a lot. I think building relationships and networking, like you said, I think we just need to get out there a little bit more.
Yeah, because in this day and age, all it takes is one thing, right? One listener.
It's still your turn.
One listener, one viral video, whatever the case may be, and that's it. It's a wrap after that.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time about this podcast, or about podcasts in general. It doesn't matter who's listening right now. You know, you can have 30 episodes and not get one listen, but then your 34th episode, the right person listens, retweets, and boom, you know, you're off to the races. So.
I think the beauty about what we're doing is, you know, I try not to get discouraged that it's not happening yet, because the thing is that when it does pop, people are going to have tons of content to go back and binge listen to and all those things. And content is king. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're just focused on staying consistent. Let me tell you, I got married on a Saturday. The next day we were recording the podcast.
Whoa.
I traveled to San Diego for a business conference. I flew in on a Saturday night. The next day we were on the podcast. Like
Christmas, New Year's, all of those were on Sundays. We recorded.
Yeah.
Damn, dedication. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we look at the podcast like it's our baby, like it's a seed. And if we don't water it, it's not going to grow. So we're really dedicated.
Okay, gotcha. That is what's up. All right, cool. I'm surviving this game. You know, it's been a long journey, but I think I'm doing something great this game.
I think we may be the best players on this thing that you might have ever had.
I told you the last person quit that was on the show, so I don't expect to have y'all back on here after this.
Okay, the first two we can't take. That's what the rule is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, but that's no longer the first two, technically.
Okay, but I'm trying to still be, look, boom.
There you go. See,
you know what you're doing. You know, look at the way she...
Wait, I'm going to put that one back.
You see her game?
Yeah, I saw that. So, moving on. Let's talk about... And I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up anyway.
Do it. We're open to anything,
man. I remember watching a Lil Wayne interview, and Lil Wayne was talking about people shouldn't be embarrassed about who they're inspired by. You should be proud to say that you're inspired by these people because they help you become a great person. Like, he was making an example of, this is a long interview ago. Like, he was he was saying like, I got a tattoo across my chest because Tupac got a tattoo across his chest. Like, I'm proud of that. So let me ask you guys, who inspired you guys to create your podcast, and who do you listen to?
The Brilliant Idiots for sure.
Right.
Fuck Andrew. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just playing Andrew.
when they are the ones that for me, that I model myself after in terms of entertainment factor, and they give me the belief that we don't have to have a formatted show with segments and tons of sound effects and all those things. So they help give me that confidence, but just wanting that wit, that comedic timing, not afraid to cross certain lines,
Right.
and just that fan base. Like when I do my vision trainings and shit, like that's where I see myself, like as the female version of them. No other podcast has really clicked for me. One of the first podcasts you try to put me onto was Two Dope Queens. I listen to them and I'm very excited for them and all of their success, HBO, all that, but it didn't click with me.
Oh, it didn't click with me either. That shit was mad weird.
Yeah,
I saw the
it's
HBO
not
trailer.
for me. It's
I
not
said,
for me.
What is this?
I expected them to be a little bit
More
whatever.
ratchet?
I'm gonna get.
Like Two Dope Queens. You expect them to be
expected
queens.
urban,
I expected
dope.
y'all to
dope,
be black.
You know, like,
Exactly.
yeah. And I'm like,
And I was like, I'm like, these are two girls. They have their own podcast. It's your go. They have their own podcast. Like, let's see what their content is about.
Right.
All of these things. Kind of just do our own research and gather information. And when we listened a couple episodes in, we were like, oh,
This is what it is.
I'm like, they're not Two Dope
this
Queens.
is definitely
No
not what
diss.
we're not gonna do.
But Brilliant Idiots is like, it's like, I don't know, something about it's like this is my kind of people, you know, and
okay, gotcha.
I really wanted to model myself after that. It doesn't necessarily have to be about big name celebrities or anything. It's just kicking back, having that personality, and having fun with it.
Having a good, solid conversation.
Word.
That's what it's all about.
Word.
How am I gonna do this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I can do this, you guys.
Boom.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I was trying to be quiet to make sure you got it.
Thank you. It was like, what's the game in the, like a sport where people are quiet?
Golf?
Golf.
Golf. Yeah, that's like,
Wow, it's like that one
that's the way it
sport.
felt.
Okay.
Like in that moment. I
Thought
was
you were going to
tiger.
say croquet or something, but you said you didn't know what
that's
golf
exactly
was.
what it
Okay.
felt like. What's that sport with the stick and the ball?
Yeah.
You know the sport, which I always thought was really weird. The sport where they're like, it looks like they're sweeping the layer before the little.
I want to learn how to play that game.
What is that?
Because they sweep and then the other guy's like trying to stop it.
It's
I don't.
serious too. Their
I don't know.
faces.
Kind of like bowling mixed with hockey.
Or like
Yeah, no,
shuffleboard.
Yeah, shuffleboard. That's what it's
Yes.
like. But I don't know what that shit is. That's the
Yeah.
weirdest sport I've ever seen. And I still don't know the name of it. But I think it's in the Olympics.
Oh, it's sucking.
It is in the Olympics. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like
so-
it's real shit.
Who grows up and says they want to do that shit?
Sweepers. I don't know.
They like they're like sweeping the floor one day and
They're
they're like,
doing their chores.
I love sweeping so much that I wish there was a sport.
An Olympic sport at that.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm fucked.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I'm still going to
Do we need to be quiet for you too?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if some of these Olympians join these whack ass sports knowing they could be an Olympian because there's not that many people that play the sport.
Yep, that's
You
what
know
I
what
think
I'm
it is.
saying?
That's an easy way to get a gold medal.
I ain't
By the
dumb.
way, I want to ask a question. Have I dropped this at any point?
No, she
Good.
lost and then I lost.
Boom. So it means I'm winning.
There you go.
Watch this though. Watch this. I got them fingers.
Damn.
Holla
Ladies,
at
you
me
heard
at
that? She got them fingers.
Talk about an inside joke. All right. Speaking of which, no, I guess we could say it. So I've listened to a couple episodes of your podcast, obviously, and you have said that you're a lesbian, correct?
I have no preference.
Oh, okay.
She was a lesbian.
I
That's
was
the-
a lesbian for
from
good.
what I
but now that she's single, she thinking about it.
Oh, anybody can get it. Oh,
Right,
okay, gotcha.
right. That's exactly where I'm at.
So what led you to become that? Like, why?
What led me to become that?
Yeah, was it like fuck niggas, or were you just like, you know what, I like
No.
pussy? Like,
No, I think that personally, I've always kind of questioned myself.
okay.
I was that little girl that, I mean, let's be 100, right? So when we're little, we have that one channel that's scribbled out, and you're
like
still
channel
kind of
67,
yeah,
70s and
exactly,
shit,
in the
yeah.
black box back in the
Yeah,
day.
I remember that shit.
Exactly, and you get those 2 minutes of like pure
Crystal clear.
visual stimulation, and you're like, holy shit, there it goes.
And you saw pussy.
I found myself being that little girl that would be more turned on by girl on girl than a guy and a girl. And I never necessarily understood what that meant. I always just figured that's how everyone feels, you know? Little did I know that wasn't correct, but...
That's how every guy feels.
Right. I guess, yeah, whatever. So, you know, that's where I found myself. I never questioned it. I thought that the norm was just to be with a guy, and that's what I did.
Okay.
And then it just so happened that a girl decided to push her luck with me. And this was after me being single for 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And celibate for 2.5 years.
Wow. That's a whole nother story. All right, we continue.
That's a whole nother story. And she pushed the right buttons, I guess. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I stopped questioning it. I was like... I don't care. I'm going to see where this goes. I'm going to see how at first it was just like,
you okay over there?
No, she's dying. I was just like, I'm just going to see how it goes. It is what it is. It was just a sexual thing to begin with. I never thought that I could develop feelings for another female.
Was it you?
No.
Oh, because you're like, yo, I turned her all the way the fuck out.
She's dying.
Yeah, all right. I was making sure. That's pretty wild.
With that being said, I got turned out.
Okay.
And then I started to accept the fact that I obviously felt like this for a long time and just never explored it.
Oh, so it was time to embrace it.
Right. So after a while, I started to not see girls as far as like, oh, she's, you know, because let's be 100. All girls look at other girls. They'll be like, oh, she's got a fat booty or, but not in that way. So I went from looking at girls from, oh, she's got a fat butt to like, damn, she got a fat butt. Like, I could do something with that.
I can work with that.
I can work with that. But now that I'm single, it's like, now that I know that I've been there, but I've also been with dudes, I'm like, you know, it is what it is. Whatever comes my way, whatever soul I end up liking at that point, I don't care what genitalia they have.
Okay, with genitalia, yeah. Gotcha. That's hilarious. Okay, it's your turn, but I do want to ask. Yeah. So, if a man or female were gonna hop in your DMs, do you think there's anything that they could say to get you to kind of entertain it?
I'm hard to impress in that way. I would say. Would you say that I'm hard to impress in that way? Yeah. I kind of shut people off quick. So, if someone was to hop into my DMs, I would say avoid the physical talk. Like if you're going to be like, oh, you have such beautiful hair, or you have such nice lips, or all of these things, that's a no-go. Okay. Because I know that you're only paying attention to certain things, right?
Right, but that's why I'm hopping in your DM.
Boom!
There you go.
Go ahead.
You don't have to put it back together.
I know what would get you, though.
You ain't got to put it back together.
Okay.
Because we're pretty much done. Okay. But go ahead. Keep talking.
I think that to me, personally, I don't know how they can go about that. You guys figure it out. I think with me, it's more like humility is so attractive to me. Someone who's humble and kind of doesn't paint this picture like, I could do this for you. I know we're not going to play again. I could do this for you, or I could do that for you, or let me put this in your life, or let me do like.
Let me put this in your life.
Yeah. Let me put this in your life. You would be surprised. Let's go through the DMs after
I wish a girl would tell me that shit.
Yo,
let me put this in your life.
What would you do if she said, yo, let me put this in your life?
Come through.
Yo!
Oh, dang. That's all it takes. Come
humility for sure. Humility. I don't know how you can go about doing that through DMs, but if you guys can figure it out, or if you girls can figure it out, by all means, humility is the way to go.
Okay, so they're just gonna send you a message that says humility ... What's good?
And I'm gonna be like,
nah, this is what you do. This is how you get my friend.
Okay, Rome's gonna tell you.
Yo, CO, you're from that podcast, CO in Rome. Yo, I checked it out. Yo, I just want to slide through and let you know you mad funny.
I want to slide
She's
through.
She's gonna be like, really? And then just be smooth from there.
So be a fan first?
Not be a fan, but just try to connect
on a different level,
not just physicality. Because here's the thing, she knows she's cute, okay? She don't need you to tell her that she's cute.
That's hilarious.
That's the issue. So she's like, big lips, nice teeth, nice hair. I get it. What you want, nigga?
Word.
You know,
okay.
It's like that's boring to her. She wants someone that can appreciate her on some earthy shit. You know?
I am that girl.
Okay. I like that. That's hilarious.
I'm just keeping it
For the fellas out there, just so you know, come through like that. All right, so normally the way I end my show is I normally end it with a quote, but when I have a guest, I like to ask if somebody was only listening to the last 2 minutes of this podcast, what would you like for them to take away from it?
Yo, listen to our shit and let us know how you feel. And I think that's really gonna help us grow. And we're building relationships with our listeners. Don't be afraid to connect with us.
Straight up. I would agree with that, but if I had to say the last 2 minutes, whatever. And quote-wise, as far as what you stated, I would say, yo, don't be afraid of being yourself. For sure. Do not be afraid of being yourself, regardless of what anybody else's opinions are. There's only one of you, and that's all you have.
Only one.
Only one.
And that's it. Well, ladies, CO, Rome, I thank you for joining my podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Supposed to look at me when you said that, but okay. You're looking at the fans. That's mad weird. She's married, guys.
I got good face, so you know.
And her husband decided to play kickball, which I believe is a lie.
No,
so
he's really playing
who the
kickball.
fuck plays kickball at 7 o'clock on a Thursday night? And
People who play with the corporate league.
Oh, there's a corporate league now.
Yeah, it's
Corporate
real
league,
shit.
man.
Okay, all right,
It's
get the
real
fuck
shit.
up out my
This
house.
kickball-
This is it. It's been I Game Around, and we out.